An AEW star is making amends for backstage heat, plus plans for Ring of Honor TV finally revealed, and a WWE star is planning a unique WrestleMania moment. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Last night on Dynamite, behind the scenes, bridges were being built and amends were being made. Thunder Rosa returning to Dynamite, where she worked on the Spanish announce table.
Yeah.
Now, she's done this prior, but this looks like a more sort of semi-permanent role until she's back up and running. But there was a meeting that took place behind the scenes before Dynamite started, before the Rhodes had got to the commentation station, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. So this is from Fightful Select. They said that there was a locker room meeting for all the women of the roster who were present at the tapings. Those that we heard from said that it was an effort to ease the tension between Thunder Rosa and the locker room after several relationships had frayed. Those that we spoke to with knowledge of the meeting said that Rosa did a lot of making amends for several issues that came up along the way during her previous run in the company. There were those on the roster that took issue with her approach to things and believed she made others on the women's roster seem like bullies. There were also complaints about sandbagging and working stiff, which I think we saw with sort of Marina Shafir and that as well.
Yeah.
And we saw those two, was it breaking bread? She gave her a loaf of bread. It was like, we break the bread now, it's all good.
Good metaphor.
Fightful continued to say there were some on the roster that took issue with her not being on the road with AEW while traveling for other companies and other work as well, and questioned the legitimacy of her injury, which Rosa addressed publicly. A member of AEW management told us that they believe the meeting was productive and hoped it was a clean slate, and I also hope it was a clean slate as well.
Yeah, the life's too short. I'm glad that this meeting was held. A good shout from AEW to bring this meeting together, and so they've had a lot of bad rep for some locker room scenarios in the past few months. Rightly so in some occasions. But I'm glad that this was held in order to kind of, this is a bold way forward. I genuinely think Thunder Rosa has something to offer AEW without a shadow of a doubt. And I'm glad that this was something that was held and put to rest.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right in saying as well, I wonder if going forward, maybe this is the practice for AEW as well. If things like this are happening and perhaps there's tension between certain members of the roster, bloody hellfire! Look at the strength of this man.
Let me make amends here. Ha. You carry on.
He's got it. Well, I was going to say, I think perhaps if this is the practice for AEW going forward, in doing things like this, in doing meetings like this, for people that maybe have a little bit of tension backstage, I think this is a really good way to do it. And yeah, Thunder Rosa out there as well, sort of obviously doing her part to make amends as well, which is the main thing. You want to see the person that perhaps people have taken umbrage with.
Yeah, you certainly do.
Yet. You want to see them put the effort into to fix things too. So yeah, very, very excited to see Thunder Rosa back.
It's important to put the effort into fixing things. Which is why I'm going to hold it like this.
Oh, you're going to hold it?
Yeah,
I was going to say we'll be back.
No, we'll do it live.
All right, we're doing it live.
We've got one take at this. We're doing it live.
Okay.
Now, also at AEW last night, some big news around Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe not only now signed with Ring of Honor, not only will be a feature part of Ring of Honor going forward, but also will be a feature part of AEW going forward. Tony Khan announcing on Twitter, Mark Briscoe earned his second win on TBS on Dynamite tonight. And now it's official. Mark Briscoe is all elite. He will continue with us in AEW and remains in Ring of Honor. It was great having him on Dynamite tonight. I'm excited for Mark to participate in the debut of the new Ring of Honor TV.
Oh, that's exciting.
So congratulations to Mark Briscoe.
Absolutely.
Getting on the books. It's really unfortunate that it was the passing of Jay that got us to this point here. But how lovely that we're at this point where Mark Briscoe is on the books for AEW.
Yeah.
And by what I can gather from what I've seen and what I glean, it seems like he's going to be a feature part of it as well.
Yeah, definitely. The man has so much history with so many people, both within Ring of Honor and also AEW as well. I think it would be a shame if perhaps only he was on Ring of Honor and couldn't get to have those little tete-a-tetes with the people that he has in the past as well. So yeah, absolutely all the best, Mark Briscoe. That's amazing news.
But what's this, Tony? He'll be featured on Ring of Honor TV, but there's been no announcements about that for ages, except there was last night.
What?
Yes, we have concrete details, finally, for AEW's brand new TV show. So Tony Khan announced that Ring of Honor TV tapings are going to be taking place at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida on February 25th and February 26th. Tickets go on sale today. They should be available right now. The first episode of the new Ring of Honor TV show will air on Honor Club on March the 2nd, and you can get Honor Club through the ROH app or through watchroh.com for $9.99 a month. You've also got the back catalogue of all the previous ROH TV shows as well, but it starts anew in a couple of weeks' time.
Exciting to see what happens on the AEW TV, what storylines they go with and stuff, maybe perhaps what crossovers we see there.
I'm hoping that we don't get many.
No, definitely. I think there's certain people you can utilise, but not sort of do it to a point where we get to where we were before, where we were like, just bloody split them up now. You know? There's definitely people that can every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, you don't do it too often, and how can I miss you when you're never away? You don't do it very often. Do it that way. And I think that'll be fine. I'm glad that we're getting like a roster division. I'm glad I'm getting Ring of Honor getting the show going again. Yeah. Really up for seeing this happen. Let's talk WrestleMania 39. We're well and truly on the road to it. Elimination Chamber is this Saturday. Predictions later. Yeah. 9 pitches now. Check out 9 pitches with Andrew, Jack, and Ross for Elimination Chamber. We're doing our predictions. We're doing live reactions to Elimination Chamber. A Cowboy Andrew and I. And then you'll have what happened at and the WTF moments from Elimination Chamber as well as the final stop on the road to WrestleMania.
The little pillow. It's a nice pillow. We don't get the roadblocks, as Ross was saying yesterday, anymore. It's a nice little
NXT
pillow.
are having the roadblock instead. But that's fine, because they can cope with it. Are WWE tweaking the lineup for WrestleMania 39? In a word, no. In many words, here's Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer. Almost everything that I've heard, in fact, everything that I've heard months back, there have been changes from months back. But I would say a month back.
You are having me on.
Dave, I love Dave, right? He writes like jazz happens.
Scan
it on a month back. Skip it on a month back. A little month back. Everything happened exactly the same as planned. Every single week, there'll be something tweaked in some way. Not big changes, but there'll be tweaked stuff. Now, there hasn't. So, no. Thanks, Dave.
Nice one, Dave.
Stuck that in. Thank you very much. But a particular star of WWE is planning a really unique WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, they are. So Cody Rhodes, who spoke to Peter Rosenberg of Hot 97, he talked about a unique WrestleMania moment he's planning with his ring attire, and it's really cool, actually. He said, small spoiler, I guess, I was trying to come up with this idea for a weight belt for a very specific premium live event where I wrote every independent promotion I worked on it, because that was the most important thing I did, was this connection with these fans and getting to know them and grassroots, and that became really my bread and butter. And I think that's correct as well. I think when Cody went off to do sort of his own thing, to go through all these different indies and stuff, that's when he really made himself, I think.
He found his voice, didn't he, when he was doing stuff like that. So a weightlifting belt as part of his WrestleMania entrance that's going to contain all the smaller indie promotions that he worked for. Obviously, people will say, oh, will it have New Japan on it? Will it have Ring of Honor on it? Will it have AEW on it? He very much paints the fact that it's the smaller indie promotions that will be on there. So places like Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, Northeast Wrestling, where he had a load of matches, Evolve, where he did a lot of stuff, OVW, where he was a former champion, World Wrestling Network, could even feature WCPW on there.
Oh, what?
I know, right?
Could you imagine if that actually happened?
I'd love a little picture of Jack the Jobber on the belt.
Getting super kicked by Will Ospreay.
Jack the Jobber and Cody Rhodes went to Rise in Newcastle.
They did. I remember Jack telling me this, and I was so jealous. He was like, "Yeah, Cody turned up, but he was in his full suit and everything as well."
I've been to Rise once, right? I'm old. I went there and I went, "This ain't for me, kid." It was just hot and noisy.
It's hot and noisy, but you can get literal plastic buckets full of just bright blue liquid, and it was fantastic.
I must admit, I did a French farewell where I just sort of disappeared into the night.
Yeah.
Went to an old man pub around the corner, and that was me then. But Cody turning up in a full suit to Rise in Newcastle.
It was sticky floors and all sorts. Cody there being like, you don't think anyone will really recognise me, do you?
Jack, Cody, man! Oh, I love Jack WWE! Yeah, you know you are at Rise. Cody with a big bucket getting freaking vodka.
I'd love to see Cody with just a massive bucket of bright neon blue liquid.
Who knows? If they ever do a show in Newcastle again, then maybe he'll pop to Rise for
Yeah,
old time's
maybe.
sake. Maybe he will. We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Keys.
I love you, bye.